Welcome to Cardano for Everyone, a podcast series from Pasta Steak Pool. Each episode explores something new about Cardano in a way that's simple and accessible for everyone. In the mood for some Cardano magic? Let's get started.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to explore Emurgo, really try to get a grasp on how they've made an impact. What's really fascinating about Emurgo, founded alongside IOHK, now IOG, and the Cardano Foundation.
Yeah, so each of these entities plays a very unique role.
Before we jump into Emurgo itself, can you give our listener a little context on the structure of the Cardano ecosystem?
Absolutely. So it's actually quite unique. Cardano came from three distinct entities collaborating. IOHK, which later became Input Output Global, IOG, the Cardano Foundation, and then you have Emurgo.
Okay.
And each one plays a crucial role in Cardano's success.
So it's like a three-pronged approach. What does each entity actually focus on?
Okay, so IOG, which Charles Hoskinson and Jeremy Wood co-founded, is like the powerhouse for research and development. They're the brains behind Cardano's tech, constantly innovating and pushing the limits of blockchain.
What about the Cardano Foundation? What's their role?
They're like the guardians of Cardano's mission. They're focused on the big picture stuff like governance, regulatory compliance, making sure Cardano's development stays true to its core values, and ultimately, making sure it benefits the community.
So they're the ones keeping everything on track, making sure Cardano stays aligned with that initial vision.
And then you have Emurgo, who we're focusing on today, and they bring us to the commercial side of things. Their role is all about taking Cardano's potential and making it into real-world solutions.
So they're the bridge between the tech and the people who can use it.
Precisely. And they do this through four key pillars: investments, education, and partnerships. These pillars showcase Emurgo's diverse approach to fostering Cardano's growth and adoption.
Okay, let's break those down. Let's start with investments. What kind of projects is Emurgo getting behind?
So they have a venture arm, Emurgo Ventures, and they're very strategic with their investments. They're looking for projects that match Cardano's values and can make a real impact in the world.
It's not just about the money. It's about supporting those projects that are using blockchain for good.
A great example is their investment in aid tech. They're developing these volunteer-to-earn wallets.
Volunteer-to-earn wallets. What are those?
It's a new way to incentivize and reward people who volunteer their time using blockchain. Imagine you're volunteering for something you really care about, and you can actually earn rewards for it. It's all tracked and managed on the blockchain.
Combining social good with blockchain technology. Now, I know they're also deeply invested in the DeFi space, backing projects like Partija Blockchain. Partija Blockchain focuses on privacy-enhancing tech, right?
They're all about something called multi-party computation, MPC. It lets multiple people work together and process data without actually revealing their individual inputs. So it protects sensitive info on the blockchain. It's really innovative, and Emurgo clearly sees the value.
That makes sense, especially with all the concerns about data privacy and security these days. Okay, so they're investing in some cool, impactful projects. What about education? You mentioned that as another pillar.
Right. So they realized early on that a thriving blockchain ecosystem needs skilled people. You need people to build it and maintain it. That's why they started Emurgo Academy, which is a platform to train the next generation of blockchain professionals.
It's not just teaching people to code, though, right? It's bigger than that.
It's much broader. They offer courses for developers, of course. They're teaching them Cardano's programming languages like Haskell and Plutus. But they also have programs for business people, entrepreneurs, just anyone who wants to learn about the wider impact of blockchain.
So they're building a pipeline of talent to help Cardano grow. That's a smart strategy. What about the product development pillar? What kind of tools are they building?
They're behind some of the most user-friendly products in the whole Cardano ecosystem. One of their most well-known is the Yoroi wallet.
Ah, Yoroi. I've heard of that one. It's a wallet specifically for 80-day transactions, right?
They made it with accessibility in mind. So whether you're a seasoned crypto person or just starting out, it's really easy to use. It's available as a browser extension and a mobile app. And it even has a built-in NFT gallery now.
Oh, very cool.
And then there's USDA, a huge development for Cardano. It's a stable coin pegged to the US dollar.
Okay, so for those who might need a reminder, stablecoins are cryptocurrencies that are meant to hold a stable value, often linked to a regular currency, like the dollar.
Precisely. USDA was the first fully fiat-backed stablecoin for Cardano,
Oh, wow.
and it's supposed to make global transactions in the ecosystem smoother and just make Cardano more appealing for everyday use.
So they're making it user-friendly, like with Yoroi, and addressing real-world issues like volatility with USDA. Emurgo's making Cardano more accessible and attractive to a broader audience.
They're lowering those barriers to entry for both individuals and businesses.
What are Emurgo's collaborative efforts all about?
They really understand that working together is essential for getting widespread adoption, and they're great at making those strategic partnerships. Governments, businesses, venture capital firms, all to amplify their impact.
Are there any partnerships that really stand out to you?
One that comes to mind is their work with Adanian Labs and Everest Ventures Group. They teamed up to support Web3 startups in Africa. That's a space where Cardano's ideas of decentralization and financial inclusion are really powerful.
Yeah, and Web3 is all about that vision of a decentralized internet where users have more control and ownership. It seems like a natural fit with what Cardano is trying to do.
It really shows their belief in Web3 and how it aligns with Cardano's overall mission.
I'm really interested to hear more. It seems like they're not just throwing money at startups, It seems like they're really trying to make a difference there.
Emurgo Africa is a whole dedicated division with a $100 million fund to back blockchain startups.
Wow.
Specifically, startups tackling those local challenges.
Are there any specific examples of how these startups are using Cardano to address those things?
So one area they're focusing on is microlending. There are startups building decentralized lending platforms on Cardano's smart contracts so they can provide these small loans to individuals and businesses who wouldn't normally qualify for traditional financing.
That's awesome.
It's giving people access to financial services that they wouldn't have had before. And because it's all built on blockchain, it's more transparent, efficient, and accessible than those traditional methods. They're also looking at supply chain transparency,
Okay, how does that work?
like tracking a product from where it begins all the way to the consumer. Using blockchain to verify every step along the way, this can help ensure fair trade practices, cut down on fraud, and just give consumers more confidence in what they're buying.
That's incredible. It seems like Emurgo Africa is really harnessing the potential of blockchain to make things more fair and transparent.
And it's not just the tech itself. They're also investing in education and training programs to build up local expertise and empower African communities to become leaders in this blockchain space.
That's amazing, like planting seeds for long-term growth. Okay, so Emurgo Africa is making big moves. What about Emurgo Ventures globally? Any other notable projects they're supporting?
One that's super interesting is their investment in Milkamada. It's a protocol, like a bridge between Cardano and other blockchains. It's all about interoperability.
The idea of different blockchains talking to each other. But how does Milkamada actually make that happen?
It's kind of complex under the hood, but basically, Milkamada lets you wrap your ADA, so Cardano's cryptocurrency, and use it on other blockchains, like Ethereum, for example.
Oh, I see. So it's like giving ADA a passport to travel across those blockchain borders.
And it's a big deal for Cardano because it opens up so many possibilities. Now, ADA holders can join DeFi applications on other blockchains, access way more services, and connect with different communities. It's huge for ADA's use and how it gets adopted.
It sounds like Emurgo Ventures is great at picking out those projects that are strategically important for Cardano's growth. Anything else in their portfolio you want to highlight?
Oh, yeah. They've also invested in a company called Wave Financial, who created this AD Yield Fund,
Okay.
which allows these big institutional investors to get into Cardano and earn some passive income.
So they're attracting even bigger players into the Cardano world. Okay, so we've got investments covered, and we touched on education before. What about Emurgo's own product development? We talked about the Yoroi wallet and stablecoin. We talked about Cardano Spot, their social network going decentralized. Anything else they're working on that our listeners should know about?
One cool thing is their work on a decentralized application backend, or DAB, to make it easier for developers to build decentralized applications, those dApps, that can work with Cardano's smart contracts.
Okay, so they're making it easier for people to create cool new stuff on Cardano.
They're really providing the infrastructure and tools to support a thriving Web3 ecosystem on Cardano, and they're also big on building that community.
How are they fostering that?
Well, they organize hackathons, workshops, events, bringing developers, entrepreneurs, enthusiasts, everyone together. They're also really active on social media and forums, offering support and resources.
It's not just tech, it's a movement. Okay, so we've got investments, education, product development, and community building. Anything else about Emurgo that really stands out to you? Something that sums them up?
It's their dedication to Cardano's core principles. Like, everything they do, from investments to products to partnerships, aligns with that Cardano vision of a future that's decentralized, secure, and sustainable.
It is remarkable how everything they do just seems to connect, creating this synergy that drives Cardano's growth and impact.
But Emurgo steps in to bridge the gap between that innovative tech and real-world applications.
They're aiming for global impact. They've got offices everywhere: Japan, Singapore, India, the United States, and a growing presence in Africa. I'm curious about Emurgo's origin story. What sparked its creation?
So picture Tokyo, June 2017. Emurgo with this grand vision of making Cardano's tech practical, something that people could use in their daily lives.
Speaking of paying off, Emurgo Ventures has invested in over 300 startups globally.
Take their investment in Milkomeda that acts like a bridge between Cardano and other blockchains, which is crucial for expanding Cardano's reach. It's about interoperability, connecting the dots.
That's smart. But what about the people actually using this technology?
Emurgo Academy is their answer to that. They've trained over 2,500 people from 25 countries on Cardano-specific topics.
What about the Yoroi wallet specifically makes it stand out?
It handles ADA transactions very smoothly and gives you easy access to all those dApps that we were just talking about. But it's more than just basic functionality, right? Yoroi stands out because of its really simple, intuitive design.
But what about security? Crypto wallets have this reputation for being vulnerable to hacks.
So with Yoroi, they've taken a hierarchical, deterministic approach.
Okay, rank that down for me.
Essentially, your private keys, which are your digital signature, are never exposed. And they've added layers of protection, and they're constantly adding new features.
Okay.
Recent updates have included an NFT gallery and seamless dApp interaction.
How does Yoroi compare to Daedalus?
Okay, so both wallets are part of the Cardano ecosystem, but they cater to different needs. Daedalus is what's called a full node wallet.
Full node wallet.
This means it downloads the entire Cardano blockchain, which makes it extremely secure, but also very resource heavy. Yoroi is a light wallet, so it's much faster, easier to use for your everyday transactions.
What's the big deal about regulatory compliance?
Well, regulatory compliance is really important because it builds trust. Emurgo is committed to working within the established rules and regulations.
What are the practical benefits of using the USDA stablecoin within the Cardano ecosystem?
Okay, well, imagine being able to make seamless global transactions without the hassle of converting between ADA and fiat currencies. That's the power of the USDA stablecoin, especially for businesses and individuals who are operating across borders.
So it's all about efficiency and just cutting out unnecessary steps. But what about its potential impact beyond Cardano?
The USDA stablecoin is designed with interoperability in mind, meaning it has the potential to be used on other blockchains as well. So this opens up really exciting possibilities for cross-chain transactions.
One of their most impactful initiatives is Emurgo Africa, launched in 2021 with a $100 million fund dedicated to fostering blockchain innovation across the continent.
So Emurgo is backing projects that use Cardano to make remittances faster, cheaper, and more secure.
And that's making a tangible difference in people's lives.
It's all about fostering blockchain innovation across the African continent.
But Africa's a vast continent with such diverse needs. What are some of the specific areas where they're focusing those efforts?
Financial inclusion is another key focus. So many people in Africa, they lack access to those traditional banking services. So Emurgo is supporting projects that are using Cardano to create decentralized financial solutions, putting people in control of their finances.
So it's about giving them more autonomy. What kind of long-term impacts are they hoping to achieve through Emurgo Africa?
Their vision goes beyond just the technological advancements. They're aiming to create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and drive social development across the entire continent.
They're also very conscious of aligning with Cardano's core values.
Things like sustainability, security, and transparency are very important to them.
It's not just about chasing profits,
It's about making a positive impact.
and their actions speak louder than words. It's about empowering people, building a better future for everyone. It's about creating a more equitable, sustainable, and inclusive world. As we wrap up this deep dive, Emurgo is using this blockchain technology to create real solutions to real problems, empower people, and encourage innovation globally. Their work in Africa, that's a perfect example. They're not just throwing money around, they're making strategic investments in projects that can really change lives. And it's not just Africa either. Their investments in projects span the globe, from DeFi and NFTs to Web3 and beyond.
They're always on the lookout for new frontiers, pushing the boundaries of what we can do with blockchain.
It's pretty inspiring to see a company driven not just by profit, but by wanting to make a positive impact on the world. So if you're interested in the future of finance, technology, and how those things connect with social impact, Emurgo's journey is definitely one to follow.
I totally agree. And as their story continues to unfold, it'll be fascinating to see what innovations and solutions they come up with next.
So until next time, keep diving deep.
Thank you for being part of Cardano for Everyone. We hope you gained something valuable from today's episode. If you'd like to support our mission of making Cardano knowledge accessible for all, consider selecting Pasta from the pool list when you delegate. Every bit of support helps us bring more content to listeners like you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you on the next episode.